Now, today we are going to go straight into major discourse as we are approaching the polls in September. Well, the question is, political parties are already gearing up to ensure that everything is in place. We've got some persons here with us in the studio. They are of the Labour Party. They'll be introducing themselves as it's a collapsed structure, if you ask me. As we go straight into the discussion, you'll get more light. Good evening and good to have you.
Yes, we have Ernest.
Okay, and
I'm Dr. Edmond Denzel.
okay, and we have
I'm Honorable Loki Ahisobia.
okay, so welcome, gentlemen, to the program.
Thank
Now,
you
from the
very
information we have, you were independent aspirants before now. But however, what now led to the collapsing of your structure to produce one aspirant? What happened? Who's taking the shots?
Okay. After a series of consideration, discussion, deliberation, we felt that it is wisdom for us to form a formidable state. And as a result, we go into understanding to have a joint ticket. Then after the agreement, we look at who is probably favorable to win the ticket and win the general election. So after all that consideration, by the grace of God, to be the lead aspirant.
Are you all from the same senatorial district, Dr. Haruna?
No, like
Okay.
I'm from Edo North,
Okay.
and since the electioneering campaigns, from the grassroots started, we've had these,
Clamor for power shift
for power
to
shift
Central.
to Edo Central, and of course we are looking for, candidates. I mean, an aspirant that has the same ideology, the same message, the same belief, and what we plan to do for Edo State. So, for a bit for us to synchronize and make sure that we have a bigger arrangement, we decide to look for people of like mind within the aspirants, the Labour Party aspirants. Of course, a lot of us, they are technocrats in their various fields, and we saw the need to harmonize this, technocracy. You are an accountant, is an engineer, is a lawyer, and all that. So we decided to have that arrangement that when we work together, even if we are going to form the government, we have already the first line, people to hold forth for the governor when he's elected.
Okay, let's quickly come to Mr. Loki. You're part of this structure that was actually collapsing to one. Do you think or do you foresee this structure collapsing again at the dire minute? Because we've seen it happen a few minutes to the election, people stepping down to align with other aspirants. Do you foresee anything like that happening?
Thank you very much. Let me first and foremost disabuse the perception of any other person out there thinking that this structure or this unity or what we call joint ticket may collapse. It will not collapse. Rather, other aspirants will be the one to step down for leading aspirant. Reason is because the man seated here has all it takes to take Edo from this economic doldrum that we find ourselves as a state. And he's well-read, well-lettered. He has experience both in the public and private sector. He's a man that has distinguished himself. You need to see his report card in the service of humanity. So he has indeed been able to distinguish himself in every area, every strata of the economy. He's an expert, he's a financial expert, he's a guru. So we all have to come together because we have similar ideology, similar manifesto. And you know the power of unity. When by the time, we are almost 10 aspirants.
Almost 10?
Yes.
So let's just say 10.
And we are still heading. We are still going
10 at the moment.
Yes, 10 at the moment.
More
So that is to
joining us.
tell you, we started this race about 22 of us. And majority of the comrades, some are falling aside due to one reason or the other. But we remain steadfast and resolute because we are clinching that ticket. The delegates know who they are going to vote for because the man seated here is a man who is ready to change the already existing cash and carry politics. We want to de-emphasize the issue of monetizing the primaries.
I like your confidence. You speak so bold and it sounds convincing. But the problem is the Labour Party currently is having a serious issue, and it's an issue of the money back politics. People have complained, aspirants like you have complained that some person just came into the party and they brought in money. shared money across board, and it seems like the leadership of the party is dancing towards their direction. So if 10 of you are coming together now, you're saying you're not going nowhere, you're going to make your foot stand in the party, do you think you can clinch the ticket? You want to respond?
Yes. I'd like you to understand that what we're looking at character, we're looking at integrity, we're looking at antecedent, we're looking at quality. What are you bringing to the table? It's not just about the money. The era of where people bring money with one hand and then take the whole economy with another and the treasury of the state and share it between themselves, that's not going to happen. And that's the reason why we formed this alliance. Because we saw that some persons came into the party to hijack it with money. And then we said, no, we won't allow this to continue in Edo State. Edo State has suffered a lot. We have been deprived. Our children are on the street. Market women are unable to put food on their table. So we said, no, we can't do that. Because the ideology that Mr. Fix-It, I will call him Mr. Fix-It from now, or Mr. Go and Verify has, we all cash into it and said, let's work and deliver Edo from this conundrum. And that's why we formed the alliance.
Okay, Mr. Fix-It, you're going to help us fix this question now. Because to an extent, we've seen people come into power and they start the blame game syndrome. They start blaming those they took over power from. We've seen it happen at the center, where a current government accusing the previous government, which are of the same party, of the failure of the current one. So is it going to be same with you? If not, quickly tell Edolites what do you have for them? What do you have in stock for Edo State?
Yes, if you don't know what to do, you look for what to see. Now, you look at the person with you. Ernest Osavonia, big is my name. I'm from Agaraga, William. You now look at what do I have? What have I done? Somebody wants to give you a clothes or a shirt. You look at what he's wearing. It's not proper, you cannot afford it. And no one can give what he doesn't have. Now, Ernest Abebe Osavonia is my name. And you look at, I grew up in my village. And I attended Abu Salim University.
Okay.
I have BSc in accounting. I have MSc in economics, MBA in administration, PGD in education, PGD in economics as well. I'm a fellow
fantastic pedigree.
I'm a fellow Institute of Management Consultant. I'm also a fellow Chartered Institute of Taxation. I'm a certified forensic accountant. Several projects I've handled.
How would this change?
No, I'm
Edo.
Yes. Several projects I've handled for federal government, for EU, for World Bank, and other international. Can go and check. Several what billions. Not that. I know down among those federal money, World Bank, other money.
You didn't divert them. You didn't divert them into your pocket. It's not even reflecting on you.
There's nothing that can
You didn't pack some to your village. No one is stuck inside your GB tank.
Only they are documented in the contract on paper that I've ever received forever. Go and check, go and verify. You can't take government money and say it's government money, it's people money, it's a cost. You can't work contract and say return percentage, it's not a blessing. Now those doing that, where are they today? Let me tell you, government is a special vehicle. It requires special person to drive it. It's not I want to be, it's not hereditary, it's not a ceremony. It's a critical thing. We have not paid attention to this aspect of a government. That's why we've seen everybody want to be
I would like to pause you a little.
Yes,
let me interject. We've seen people talk very beautiful like this. And when they get to government house, there seems to be one spirit that used to overpower them to do the wrong thing. There seems to be a spirit in government,
the spirit is under my
both at federal and state level.
The spirit is under my feet.
So how will you succumb
now,
this?
Look at it now. When I have a federal government money that's free, I didn't take it down. Is it now? Let me tell you, I was made the chairman of a committee that when we have to count money and Bullock and come and move it, I was the chairman. And I assessed what was happening. You know what I did? Immediately I created another room. I said, when coming, remove your suit, remove your stockings, remove your shoe, and put it in that changing room where gave everybody the true sleepers.
You forced them to come in naked.
Including myself.
The way God created them.
Including myself, for example. Bring out your pocket, including myself as a chairman.
The leader of the team, yeah.
We can't be, it's pushing no what's called poison. I
Okay.
did that. Now, sir, let me tell you, I'm an economist, educationist, and financial expert. I know what to do to fix the problem of Edo State. If you don't know what to do, I'll go there. I'll tell you what to do.
Okay, we'll get back to you. Let's quickly get to Honorable Lucky. Now, walk us through some of these blueprints. They are beautiful. Insecurity is there. We have fine land that can give us good farm produce, but people can't go to their farmlands again. It's a problem. Edo used to be, I can remember those days where we go to the village and you return back with food stuff. But now you're going to the village, you go with food stuff. You react to that. You react, but let him just respond. You have right to respond too. Quickly. All right, Mr. Locke, let's have you. Quickly.
Well, looking at Edo, Edo is a state that is blessed, richly blessed. You know, in the 70s, 80s, even the days of Awolowo, the late siege, there was a time that Edo was referred to be at the fulcrum of rubber processing. And in terms of agriculture, agro-allied industry, with what the programs we have in this joint ticket, is going to revolutionize the entire agricultural sector. We're going to enter into animal husbandry. We're going to enter into mechanized farming. Edo has arable land wasting away because of indolence in governance. Permit me to say this. It was Emperor Louis XIV of France in 1655, April 13th, that arrogantly walked up to Parliament and imperiously made a declaration using the word l'état c'est moi, that I am the state. I am the state. You could see arrogance. It didn't last 20 minutes in office. He was removed from office. And that is why we keep reminding the politicians in Nigeria about the ephemerality of power. Power is transient. With the man you have here, if you see his blueprint, his economic and agricultural blueprints for the state, is next to none. He's going to open the state up to mechanized farming, animal husbandry, agro-allied industry. He's going to expand it. He has the blueprint with him. He's going to tell you more about it.
Definitely.
I just want to use this as an addendum to my submission that most politicians we find in the corridor of power today who think they can sponsor people into our party to come and destabilize our party, those money bags sponsored by state resources, they will meet their brick wall in the candidacy of Mr. Enes Abebe.
Okay.
During the primaries.
Okay, Mr. Enes, you shed more light to your blueprint on agriculture, but let's come to Denzel. There seems to be a problem now. The delegates, they decide who takes the flag of the party.
Correct.
But the problem is, to an extent, people are impoverished, and we've seen cases where delegates dance to the tune of those who have money to spray around. How do you convince delegates to buy into his ideology?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to let you know that there is a working document that has been put in place on how the government, under the leadership of our principal, would be run. Edo State people will have an agreement with the government on how it should be run. And inside that agreement, the delegates who are going to be the one that will, decide,
determine the flag bearer of the party,
who flies gets the ticket. They already know what is contained. And then we have taken time again and again to speak to them, educate them, and let them know what is in need for them. That is not just for you to come and take money today and then you are hungry tomorrow.
Okay. Well, among the 10 aspirants that actually collapsed their structure to give Enes Abebe the lead, one of them just joined us while we went on that break. Is the person of Barrister Gubida. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so you're part of this team, I guess.
Very
so
well.
We'll be coming to you in a moment. But before we went on that break, Denzel, you were taking us through some of the hiccups that we might face with the delegates. Quickly wrap up on that.
Yeah, like I was saying, if you look at it, this alliance in joint tickets spread across the 3 senatorial zones of Edo State. And each of us has strongholds, okay, both from the grassroots, people that are going to form this, the delegates that will do the voting on the day of the party primary.
Are you sure they are on your side?
I'm sure they're on our side because...
How many percentage? Sure.
100% sure. I'm 100% sure because, let me not say 100% because sometimes you give room for variance.
Okay.
So we can say 95% sure.
Okay, you're speaking like as a statistician now.
Actually, maybe it may interest you to know that just like my principal, I'm also a fellow of ICANN, really? I'm a fellow of CITN, I'm a doctorate holder in economics.
But the game they are saying is going to be between technocrats and the homeboys. But it seems almost all of you on this train, you are not homeboys.
I am a homeboy.
So convince Edolites now. Let's get to Barrister Gobadi. I will get to you in a moment. I know you are itching to tell Edolites how you bring us out of hunger. Yes. But people are saying this game is between homeboys and technocrats. And they are saying the technocrats should remain where they are. You came from wherever you came from. So don't come and disrupt what is happening in Edo State. Take us to help us.
This game is about rescuing the soul of Edo State. It's not about homeboys or whatever they call it. We are on a mission to rescue Edo State. So that's why we came together as joint ticket, because we know that a lot of things have gone wrong since the creation of this state, and we are here to fix it.
On the Mr. Fix-It ticket?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Fix-It.
Yes.
Agriculture is very serious.
Okay, a quick one. The homeboy, I didn't tell you. I grew up in my village 31 years ago. I found cutting of Vanguard, tapping on rubber,
if you went to farm, it doesn't look like somebody actually went to farm. It doesn't look like it.
I went to farm. In fact, my father was the biggest farmer in my village.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
Now,
walk us
it
through.
was that I bought Okada 31 years ago.
Wow.
ROS 125. That's what I used to pay my school fees at Tekoma. Even during holiday, I bring that Okada to Benin here. Here was my part. So using to work, I'm a homeboy, I'm a rugged. Let me tell you, there's no Christmas I don't be in my village. I'm from Agaraga, I'm not a big man, but worthy to the glory of God. So yes.
So agriculture.
About delegate anything. Is it money and integrity will couple together? We have
you think delegate that we have now? No, integrity is not in their head.
I know.
They don't even have that. If you preach integrity, they will leave you.
I know. I said money plus, we have the two.
Oh, you have the two?
We have the totality.
Are you sure I'm not going to be one of the delegates?
Yes, we have...
Okay, you have the two.
We have everything.
You are telling them now on national television that you have the money to spoil them. They will hold you by your word on that day, or Saturday is just not too far from now. Quick one.
But no, they know because the level we are today, the veil has been removed. Before now, they settle with money, just money. But we are beyond that money. Every aspirant can appreciate whatever they want to do. But who will, after this weekend, where would they go to find that is the question.
Okay.
Now,
after this Christmas
weekend, Friday is the Christmas.
Okay, Friday is the Christmas Eve. Yes. Saturday is the Christmas.
Yes.
So after that, they will go back.
Where did they find themselves?
Okay.
Then the economy aspect, I will go to physics quickly.
Quickly, because we need to manage our time.
Industrialization.
Okay.
Of the economy revolution. 2020, I was one of the few Nigerian federal government appointed as technical working group to prepare national development plan for the nation, including 2050 Nigeria agenda. I don't know implemented or not implemented, it will be implemented in this state. It's centered on economy revolution, industrialization, agricultural revolution. We will do it here. Let me tell you, the people are willing to work. This time, when we decentralize the government and infrastructure aspect, we decentralize.
Okay, Mr. Fix-It, you seem to have lots of beautiful pedigree, yes. No doubt. And from what you have said so far, you seem to have the experience. But Mr. Denzel,
yes,
he's from the minority, based on perception. And there have been quests for power shift to Central during the build-up to the election. But however, nobody's talking about power shift again. If you look at the body language of some of the political parties that just had their primaries, it seems power is coming to Edo South. Won't there be betrayal? Because they have said that where he's coming from, they have a track record of betraying each other.
Let me say this. You know, if you look at Edo State, if you have the statistics of the last governorship election, Edo South gave 284,000 votes. Edo North gave 175,000. Edo Central gave 75,000. But you need to understand that inside Edo South, a lot of, almost 40% are from Edo Central, resident in Edo South. Same with Edo North people resident in Edo South. So if you shake the table and you actually want to look at it from the senatorial zones, they will balance out. And again, the body language is strong that we are going to Edo Central. Of course, that's one of the reasons why we join the alignment. Join into it because it is only fair.
Okay.
That Edo Central take the turn.
We must manage our time. There's a problem in Labour Party at the national level. Oluchi Okpara, the suspended national treasurer, came out recently and gave us some revelation that the national leader of the party, Julius Abure, has been embezzling funds, though he has actually said he's going to sue Oluchi Okpara for defaming his character. However, let's see how that pans out. It's up to the juries to do their work. But how will this affect the Labour Party in the state? Owing to the fact that in the build-up to the presidential election and the governorship election, Labour Party, Edo State was the headquarters of the obedient movement, whether we like it or not. Those in diaspora returned back home to vote. But if Oluchi Okpara and some other persons are accusing Julius Abure of misappropriation of funds, won't that affect Labour Party in the state?
Sorry, before...
you want to respond. All of you will respond.
Let me just...
Everyone wants to rescue this now. This one is a rescue mission too.
Not really a rescue. Let me say this.
Okay.
You know, when you see the thing, when the witch cries in the night and the baby dies in the morning, you sure know what has happened. Yeah. What's happening now is that they are making frantic effort to, you know, blacklist.
Are they sponsored?
They are sponsored from outside the party, and we know it.
But Labour Party have this track record of saying when people come out to say things are going wrong, they tend to tag it as being sponsored.
Not really. You see, when it is sponsored,
there's no smoke without fire. You
see, a lot of persons. I'm not sure if you have the full details of what Oluchi Okpara, you know, said and the response.
We've interviewed on this platform.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me come in here.
All right, quickly.
Abure is not going to be on the ballot, and all we are hearing is just allegation. It is the court that will decide who is
guilty or not.
Embezzled, who is guilty or not.
Okay.
So it's just purely allegation. So we shouldn't bother ourselves about that. We are going as a joint ticket to win Edo State and rescue Edo State from those who have captured Edo State from the creation.
Okay. And that's we must go now, Mr. Fix-It. If someone now come around, because we have so many heavyweights in the Labour Party, and I'll give you 10 billion naira a night to the primaries, and tell you go and share among your 10 disciples, will you pull out of the race?
The day you say light, bow to darkness, that's when I will.
You won't pull out of the race.
When you say
we'll hold you by your word.
Hold on, this is me.
10 billion.
What is 10 billion?
Billion naira.
I've lost more than that. I refuse to take bribe. I've lost more than that.
20 billion naira.
100 billion, 1 trillion. It's a cost. You should be able to differentiate between acid and water.
Some of them are giving us Siana, so.
Huh?
Some of okay. We must go. We would like to have you again before the primaries, if possible. Come around on Friday. Let's see how to nip it up.
Friday is the primary.
Okay, Friday is the primary.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everyone, this is our show. Want to thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next one. My name is Daniel Praise Osedebame. Bye for now.